Is that good?
Well, you see how my head is in that square, one off from the left, and yours is halfway in it?
Well, why don't you move it normal?
All right, well, I can move it a little bit too.
Or you can move the camera over.
No, it's all right.
You think that's good there?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
Mm-hmm. I'm over it now.
Okay. All right, let's start this.
All right, guys, welcome back to episode 11, I believe, of Barbells and Banter podcast. Today I have my best friend Harrison joining us. Me and Harrison have been, big title there. Congrats.
Thank you.
Anyways, me and Harrison have been really good friends since junior high. So figured I'd get him on the Potter and...
I asked 15 times.
yeah, there's a long wait list. What are you going to do? But yeah, so we're just going to talk about some stuff. Might be fitness, might not. I know Harrison had a couple things that he wanted to discuss. So we're gonna jump right into that. Do you want to just introduce yourself and I don't know?
You did a pretty good job.
Only description, my best friend. That's it.
What should I say?
You can talk about the gym, when you got into the gym, your background, sports background, like what you're doing now for school, all that sort of thing.
All right. Well, sports background, I play golf occasionally in the summer.
Not very good.
So that's pretty much it with that. Gym background, started going to the gym in junior high, I would say. Not really any strict schedule, just like once or twice a week kind of thing. Didn't do anything crazy. Kind of fell out of that until, how long ago would you say? A year ago? Maybe
Probably about a year ago. Yeah.
Where Ryan had been trying to get me into going to the gym for a while, and finally I cracked down. I ended up having to get a work term for my business degree. So I was like, all right, that's a steady schedule. Use that as an opportunity to start going to the gym a lot. So did that. Started going probably 5 times a week with you.
Yeah.
Doing all the stuff he does. So very tiring, but definitely got some.
You got
definitely
jacked.
Definitely made some progress.
Yeah.
And then the first quarantine hit.
Yeah.
And for me, the gym was just sort of, it was a way to hang out with Ryan, but I also got the benefit of getting jacked at the same time. So
Can't go wrong.
When the first quarantine hit, I did not really have much, I didn't really stick to working out in my house kind of thing.
He lost motivation.
So, right at the start, I'd maybe do some push-ups or some chin-ups, like 10, like a day, but a week after that, just absolutely nothing for 2-3 months, however long that first.
I don't even know how long it was.
I don't even remember. So completely fell out of it, but then restrictions started lifting, gyms opened up again, and when Good Life opened up, but you had to book, and you could only go for like an hour, I was still not interested in that really at all. But finally, you could go at limited capacity whenever you wanted. So I got back on the horse pretty quickly, I think. Maybe not 100% of what we were doing, but pretty close.
Yeah.
And then second quarantine hit, I have not been back since. Well, that's not true. I've been back 3 times since.
Yeah, we went and did a couple sessions, but it hasn't been anything consistent. A couple things. So I think it was grade 9, and we had to set, as part of gym class, we had to set fitness goals. And I think it was it was you, Jacob, Mark, all you guys who were going to the Y.
Yeah.
You were I'm going to bench 135, and that was your goal for, I don't know what the period of time was, but I remember that was just part of the curriculum. And anyway, so at that point, Harrison was actually stronger than me. And I don't know how much I weighed in grade 9.
I actually took Ryan around the Y, and I showed you different exercises
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was grade 9, and that was like I was weight training at that point, but a lot of the stuff I was doing was more so like sports specific for hockey.
Hockey stuff, yeah.
So it was like a lot of agility stuff, a little bit of strength training stuff. But yeah, so that was that. And then it was high school when I really got into kind of weightlifting and bodybuilding and all that sort of thing, like very specific. And what else? What else did you say?
Well, just to go back, I feel like I can remember going to the Y with you in like grade 9. And,
Yeah.
You know, like you were like taller than me, obviously.
Yeah.
But like we'd be doing exercises and we'd be maxing out at like pretty much the same thing. Maybe you'd do 10 pounds more than me on one exercise, and I do 10 pounds more than you on another exercise.
Yeah, it was pretty even.
Like going in, I was like, oh, like Ryan's definitely. I feel like if you go to the gym with a new person,
Yeah.
like there's always a little part in the back of your head that's like, all right, who's stronger, kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So like that was definitely going on for me. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, like me and Ryan are pretty equal.
Yeah. And that's like me and Luke now. Like me and Luke are pretty equal on the most things that we do. But like one of us is always ahead on something and the other's kind of like behind in another thing. So it's like good to have that kind of competition because it's like another motivational.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, you were steady at the gym for a while, and started to take his foot off the brake when he got a girlfriend, and Claire, just disappointed.
What can I say?
But yeah, ladies man. Yeah, so obviously lockdowns and everything, that was pretty rough on everyone, I think, in terms of like, even for me, I found like, obviously I had like equipment here from the gym that I work at, which was like a blessing, but like even just getting in the right headspace, like, because I was just working on my basement there, so like getting in the headspace to actually lift heavy and like have an intense lifting session was like really difficult, I found. So I wouldn't be sticking to doing push-ups and pull-ups
for very long.
Yeah, no, exactly.
One thing interesting though is that when I went to the gym for like my biggest stint kind of thing,
Yeah.
I never actually like gained much weight. I
Yeah.
don't think.
No, I don't think you did either. Yeah, I think you might have gained like 5 pounds maybe.
I would say 5 pounds.
Yeah. Around like
Yeah.
5 to 8 pounds, I would say. But he definitely like, it was a complete kind of like body composition change. So like the way he looked before, you know, just looked like a bag of yogurt, just real milky looking.
I've always been pretty like skinny.
Yeah,
I never had
yeah.
any body fat.
No, exactly. But like when he started going to the gym, like he probably lost a bit of body fat and then gained a bit of muscle, so it kind of evened out, and then he was obviously on the upper hand there. But yeah, it was like your abs were popping and like your arms look jacked, and like Harrison has a really good genetics, like especially arm genetics. Like his arms are always been pretty lean and muscular.
It's the first thing the doctor said when I was born.
Would you look at his arms? You want to tell him what the nurse said to you?
Oh yeah.
Just get this out of the way early.
Yeah, just get this out of the way early. I was going to get a flu shot, I guess, just a normal flu shot, and I rolled my arm up, and my like family doctor was like, "Wow, I must say you have beautiful deltoids."
Yeah.
And haven't stopped talking about it since.
Yeah, and that was that. It's
good.
been nonstop since. But yeah, I think your biggest thing was you were making like good progress in the gym and like you were getting stronger, but your biggest thing was diet.
Yeah. Well, there's a few pillars to being a bodybuilder. I would assume.
Yeah.
There's working out, and there's, I guess, a diet, and definitely, a bunch of mental motivation and like stuff like that. I don't know if there's any more.
100%. No, that's probably the main ones for sure.
But, I had the working out.
Yeah.
Motivation was, somewhat there.
Yeah.
When he was there.
Yeah.
But diet was maybe 0.
Lacking severely.
Yeah.
So Harrison's diet mostly consisted of nacho chips and queso.
Yeah, that right when I started going to the gym a lot was right when I was in my nacho and queso phase.
Yeah. So like I got him to start like you took protein shakes like
I took protein shakes, I took creatine, I ate a lot of rice and chicken.
Rice and chicken, yeah. You started getting on that train, which
is
good.
You know, all my snacks were absolute junk, and I never actually counted any calories. Or
yeah, you didn't really have any structure in your diet. Like, you wouldn't wake up and have this meal and then...
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it was just kind of like snacking and then whatever was kind of around. So that's a big thing. Like, for people that are listening and you're new to, I don't know, weightlifting, just in the gym or bodybuilding, like, your diet is... I think your diet is more important than training. Because your training kind of is dependent upon your diet. Like, the better your diet is, the better your training is going to be. It's not really vice versa. So yeah, and without proper diet to go on along with proper training, then you're really not going to see as much progress as you would, if any, really. So yeah, that's a big thing for sure. And you mentioned counting macros too. I've never myself really counted macros. Like, I have, like, right now I have a pretty good sense of like a protein intake and like calories I want to get, and usually my meals every day are the same, so I have a general idea of how many calories I'm eating, but just because I'm so used to a meal plan and having structured meals and kind of set meals, that's kind of what I go by. And obviously in my own head I can kind of replace like carb sources, protein sources as I go on, and in the off season I'll just kind of eat whatever I want because I've been at such a high target for calories that I've always struggled to get all the calories in. So for me to have like, I don't even know what I would have, but to have like a big meal and then have a snack afterwards, like that would be fine, because at the end of the day I probably would still be under my caloric goal for that day. But yeah, no, counting your macros is definitely good to kind of have a general sense of, you know, what you're taking in, because that's what your body runs on, and if you can't get any sort of consistency with that, you're not going to know, you know, what could I do to make my training better, or what's kind of holding me back from not improving my physique. So yeah,
I will say I put counting macros in there, but I have little to no idea what that means. It's counting something, of course, to do with food, but I don't know what a macro is.
Okay, so macros with food would be like your fats, carbs, and proteins. So they're the macronutrients, like think of the
and proteins.
Big nutrients.
All right.
So your muscles, the big three, yeah. So your muscles use, so this is very, very basic. So your muscles, think of carbs. Think of carbs.
All right, educate me.
As the energy source for your muscles.
All right.
And they go through like a conversion process, and then they're stored and used as energy when you're working out or lifting weights or whatever. Protein, think of that as like the building blocks of your muscles. Okay. So like when you go to the gym, you break down your muscles, like tear them apart.
Yeah.
And then they use proteins, which are converted to amino acids, to kind of build your muscles back up and make them stronger. All right. And then fats are mostly used as energy for your brain, and also like a hormonal thing. So right now, where I'm in prep, my fats are low. So I have like low test, like it affects my hormones. So I'll have like low test, low libido, that sort of thing.
So how important is it, would you say, to know, just a general, just like basic, like kind of know how much energy, I guess, you have stored up when like you're going to do a big workout kind of thing?
I would say it's super important, because like... So
basically I'm going into battle at the gym.
Yeah.
I'm going into battle, I got a gun, but I have no idea how much ammo I have kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So you could walk in through the door and you could hit the first exercise and run out of ammo.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting. See, I've never thought about that before.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one thing to think of. And the other thing, too, is, like, kind of the only, like, yes, I have meal timings, but, like, the only time I'm really kind of strict on that is before my workout and after my workout. So before my workout, I make sure that I have kind of a high-carb diet or a high-carb meal, like, I don't know, about an hour to half an hour before I work out. So then those carbs are digested and stored and ready to use for the workout. And then I also have my protein afterwards so that I get that in right after, and those protein can go in and start working on rebuilding my muscle and that recovery process. As well, I'll normally supplement essential amino acids and carbs during my workout, because that is just like kind of a quick replenishment of my carb stores in like during my workout. So like say I run out of carbs, then these are just carbs that are readily available in my bloodstream. My muscles and body don't have to go through the whole process of, releasing cortisol to then release the carbs so they can be used, or release the glucose. So there's a whole process there, but carb supplementation is something that I implemented last off season, and I found it made a huge difference. Like that was a really big thing for me last off season, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then I'll have a meal, like sort of close to after my workout, but the main thing I get in right after my workout is my protein shake, which will have my creatine in it as well. So that's kind of nutrients, diet surrounding workouts. And yeah, you have any questions on that?
There was definitely a part of that explanation where you could zoom up on my face and do like the overlay of like trying to figure out that math equation.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's like, I don't know, it's just very tactical and like you don't need to know it. But basically what you need to know is your muscles are going to need carbs when you work out because it's the main energy source. So if you want to be stronger, have a greater muscular endurance, so i.e. be able to bench press for more reps and not get tired, like say you get tired at 6 because your body is struggling to get energy to the muscle, but if you have like optimal stores of glucose for that workout, then you won't struggle. You might get 8 reps, right? And then over time, those 8 reps, those 2 extra reps add up and you get stronger and bigger. And
do you think that has anything to do with that problem I was telling you about that I was having the last 2 times I went and did leg day, where I'll go in and the workout that I do that Ryan showed me is first thing you do is you do a drop set of leg extensions and
leg
then
curl,
hamstring curls.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty hard if you're just pretty exhausting.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I'll do both of those, but after that, I'm just dizzy, and I know when you squat max weights and stuff, you're I'm gonna throw up. So maybe it's just like that.
It could be a bit of that too, but it could also be have something to do with your insulin levels. So
well, that's what I was wondering. Is it I don't have any carbs in me or something?
That could definitely be it. Or maybe you had carbs too close to your workout and your insulin was spiked. So it has a lot to do with your blood sugars.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know, when people's blood sugars get too low, who are diabetics, they'll get kind of that same feeling, kind of lightheaded, weak, that sort of thing. So that could definitely be it. Yeah.
It's interesting because I thought, and I actually haven't had a leg day since, but I thought it was.
I haven't done it since.
This wasn't that long. I don't know. It was probably a month ago, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
And but I thought it was I had just come back, sort of thing. It had probably been another month since I had done my last leg day.
Yeah.
So maybe a shock to the system, and I thought it might have been the pre-workout. It was just making my heart go nuts.
Yeah. Well, that can be it too.
Got used to it.
on leg days, I tend not to take like a super high amount of caffeine because I find my exertion on leg days is really high, so my heart rate tends to be high. And when your heart rate gets too high, that's when you get the kind of feeling of, you're sick, you're nauseous. So obviously, taking pre-workout, you're like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's like a false, like it increases your heart rate, but not because you're working hard. It's just the caffeine that's increasing your heart rate. So then you're already like, your level's here, and then your exertion just brings it up to here, whereas it would be down here without a ton of caffeine, and then you'd be bringing it up to here. So it's kind of like...
That might be what it is then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like you're saying, like symptoms, I guess, where just like heart's going nuts, like dizzy, nauseous, just like, I gotta sit down.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But I usually feel like that on most leg days, and even back days as well. It's just reaching that kind of intensity. But that's good. As long as you're not dying, and you're doing all right. Not yet. Yeah, what else?
Well, we should say, I guess, obvious to people watching the video, first live podcast.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to talk about that.
Yeah. So first live podcast. It's been really convenient doing them on Zoom because I just record all.
Sorry.
Yeah, super inconvenient. But it just like everyone's just kind of in one spot. Nothing's really has to be set up, moved around. It's easy in that sense. But this is the live podcast. It's something that I kind of like to direct it to because I'll obviously have better quality video. Now this is being taken on an older camera. I'm getting a new camera tomorrow, so the quality will be even better then. And then eventually I'm going to get 2 mics, so one for each person, so the audio will be even better. And just the overall kind of experience of the podcast will be better in general. But yeah, I like the idea of doing things live. For sure.
For sure.
So
definitely fun.
Yeah, no, I love the podcast because it's just like you're just hanging out with the boys and like you just get to chat for a bit, which is good. I like that. And yeah.
I'm going to grab another Diet Lemonade.
Okay. Also, yeah, so while Harrison's grabbing the Diet Lemonade, we'll do a little commercial break. So unpaid sponsorship. President's Choice wants to sponsor this. That'd be sick because I actually burned through the Diet Lemonades. Yeah, get a little close up there.
Is it going to focus?
I don't know. Camera's kind of garbage. All right, that's good, man. Go get your Diet Lemonade.
Where is it?
They should be in the fridge there.
Oh.
But yeah, no, President's Choice has these Diet Lemonades. They're like 5 calories. And yeah, they just taste sick. Taste like regular lemonade. But yeah, what are some good questions? Oh, he's back already.
I think I know the answer to this, but did I show you these?
You did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the first time I had them was
nice
in the my cheat day video. That was like a month ago. So I'll pop that up here if you guys want to go watch that. But yeah, question for you. What do you think about bodybuilding in general? What are your general thoughts of it? And then what are your thoughts of me in prep?
Loaded question. All right, let me think about that.
Okay.
I have positive thoughts. Well, I'll start off with you in prep. I think that what you are doing is something that I wouldn't be able to do, right? So you have a lot of restrictions, I guess.
Right.
So you can't. I mean, you had your cheat day.
Yeah.
You get a few of those, but obviously there's the gym schedule, and you have to do this, like daily calorie stuff, and you can't drink and you can't eat certain things when you want. You can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then coming right up to the show date, I guess you have to do like the whole water draining thing, and it just seems it's not something I'd be able to do for sure.
Yeah.
So I definitely have respect for the people that are willing to do that. And, yeah, I mean, the people up on the stage, I guess, are the people willing to do that. So, I mean, that's, it's something that you have to be able to do to compete.
Yeah.
It's a barrier to entry, I guess.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
Like, I definitely have respect for everyone that can do that.
I think just to build off that too, over time in the gym, like a lot of people who hop into a prep right away who aren't used to kind of like the lifestyle per se of like tracking food, consistent in the gym and everything, those are the people who either have a really bad experience with prep or end up dropping out along the way. Because like I find over the years I've kind of, I guess, eased myself into it. Like I would say I've been going to the gym probably 5+ days a week since grade 10 at least. And before that it was probably 3-4 days a week since like grade 7. So I already had that, and then over the years I've kind of adjusted my diet and dialed in my diet because I just wanted to get more progress. Like you start hanging out with people that go to the gym and talking to people that go to the gym and surrounding yourself with that crowd, and they're making progress, and it's like a competitive thing. You're like, I want to keep up. I want to get stronger than them. How can I get stronger than them? I got to make my diet better. I got to get better cardiovascular, whatever it might be. And then you kind of work on that as a means of, some people, it's like, oh, I want to look better, to go to a party, or I want to look better for a girl. It's like
the summer.
For the summer, yeah. It's like whatever it is, you got to have that motivation thing. But then I feel like once you get kind of tied into the thing where it's like all year round, like I want to get better for me. Like I want to get better so I can be stronger, so I can be bigger than I was yesterday or last year or last show. So when you get in that mindset and you're doing this all the time, prep isn't that hard. It's hard, but like for me, when I knew kind of prep was coming along, like I'd been pushing food for a long time, and like even in my off season, when I first started my off season, I was like really strict with my meal plan. Like I was following a meal plan like I am now. And eventually I kind of like loosened up because like I wasn't able to do that 24/7. But I was still sticking to some sort of structure, and I made the most progress I've made in probably the past 3 years just by doing that. So it's like when you get in that mindset, it's just like, okay, I want to cut now. I've been pushing food for so long. I don't want to eat that much anymore. And then you kind of shift, and it's a good mental shift and shift for your body because you increase your sensitivity, or you increase your sensitivity to food then, because before where you're so used to just pushing food, push, you become, desensitized by it. So it's necessary to cut. You can't bulk forever. So you need to cut and then, bulk again. So I had to cut regardless whether I was doing a show or not. It was just necessary for me. And it was what was good for my body. So in terms of that, like obviously you get closer to prep, things get more strict. You take out things like, sauces and obviously drinking, sort of things like that. So you kind of dial it in, and that's when it gets more difficult. Like mentally, physically, you're on lower carbs, so you're pretty drained all day. But it's just for a short period of time. So when you're in the mindset of kind of like I do this all the time anyways, it's not that drastic of a change.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, that was a long interjection.
So kind of building off what you asked me, like, what do you think about bodybuilding? Kind of
yeah.
thing. So, positive thoughts, and I remember watching that video that Morgan put on his story just about like the positive sides of bodybuilding.
Yes.
How it's like a good thing for people and kind of thing. So my question, I guess, is your thoughts on some of the stigmas kind of thing. So like steroids kind
right.
of thing. Like
yeah.
when you hear bodybuilding, like if your parents hear. Do we have any idea where it stopped recording?
I think I only saw that there recently. But basically, just to backtrack on, I guess, the last topic, Harrison asked my thoughts on stigmas surrounding bodybuilding and more specifically steroids and what other people who look on to bodybuilding think immediately. So I would say that, yes, steroids are a big part of bodybuilding, especially at a professional level. And it is possible to become a professional naturally, but obviously you won't be as successful and at the top of the game if you're not taking the things that other people are taking. Like, you can be a genetic freak, but there will be people that are taking more steroids than you, and therefore they're going to do better.
Do you think that is unfair? Because if you think about it, it's not about, the competition isn't who can take the most steroids, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, it gets
and
pretty...
it's one thing, it's like, I don't really know about it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to throw a bunch of shade or anything. It's just, it's something I don't know about.
So it gets pretty kind of like, I guess, nitpicky, because there are people that just won't react to steroids. Like, say I started a cycle right now. I might not react well to steroids, and they might not even really work for me that well. Yeah, I'll gain some muscle, but you might start taking them, and, you know, you might react really well. And, like, just genetically, you'll be more, like, you'll just have a better reaction to them. Yeah. So, like, that comes into play too, and then that would mean you would have to take less than me, and you would still be better. Yes. So it still has a lot to do with genetics and that sort of thing, and obviously, if you're taking them and your diet isn't good and you're not training properly and at the high intensity that others are, you know, you're not going to look as good as them.
So I can't just take steroids and eat queso and...
Exactly. It doesn't work like that. You might get a bit bigger for the first little bit, but it's not going to, you know, you won't be able to become a pro like that.
Eat queso, sleep in until 3, jacked.
Sounds like a pretty good life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's definitely steroids are definitely a big component, but I know if you ask any bodybuilder, they'll say they wish it wasn't. So they wish, like, you know, it wasn't part of it.
Right.
Like, if it didn't start at the beginning, like, they just weren't included in bodybuilding, like, people would be probably happy with that, because people don't like injecting themselves with, like, hormones and...
Understandable.
Yeah, right? So... It's not something they enjoy, but it is necessary at a certain level, or to get to a certain level.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's my opinion on it, and like, I feel like the longer you kind of are in this space and talk to people and kind of get an understanding, the more kind of accepting and normal it is. I would say that there are a lot of people at even your local gym that take steroids that you don't know about because they don't know how to train or they don't know how to eat. But they probably look decent because they're taking steroids, and you don't even know it because you can't tell because they don't know how to eat or train. And there's multiple people here that I can think of that do that, but that's another thing.
That's for another
podcast. But like, did that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
For sure.
Cool. Do you have any other questions?
Can you go to the note?
Yeah, go to the note here.
Go to the notes. It's not very extensive.
On the note, it says, COVID-19, the gym quiz, counting macros, and having a sick home gym. And that is the extent of the list.
I was not given very long to write the list.
You were given months.
Well, fair enough, but you threw it in front of me today, and, you know, I woke up at 3.
I did not. Okay, don't listen to this guy, because we were supposed to do it last Sunday. All right? And then last Sunday, we were both, like, busy, so we were like, we'll push it to next weekend. And we decided multiple days ago that we were going to do it this Sunday. And he woke up at 3 o'clock and was like, I just woke up, sorry. When are we doing the podcast? When are we hanging out? So, yeah.
We're here.
Hey, we're here. That's the main thing. I'm actually surprised that we're here.
I am too, a little bit, honestly. I thought I was going to text you and you're going to be like...
Not in the mood. Actually, I don't want to see you.
Actually, I have another guest that's coming on.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, what do you want to talk about? COVID-19 or having a sick home gym?
I want to know your plans for working out for the future. Is this, like, how important is the gym to you, and how important is your own health? Because, so to me, I cannot picture what my life would be like without the gym and without even the structure that I have in the gym. Like, I cannot see myself in this life not having structured meals throughout the day and structured workouts, workout times, and, like, tracking progress. And, like, I just can't see that because I wouldn't be happy with how I look knowing that I could be doing more to look better.
I would not be happy with my life if I had not having a bunch of free time on all the days.
Fair.
Well, I guess it's just a thing. I prioritize having free time where I can just sit, decide what I want to do with that time, and just not really be bothered, I guess.
Yeah, just chill out.
And you prioritize going to the gym, obviously.
Yeah.
But, a couple things. I want to start going back to the gym. It's a thing where it'd be sick to be like where I was and even more,
Yeah.
It's something where it's like, it's something I'm interested in. It's something I want to do, but it's like, there's a bunch of things that you kind of like want to do at some point, but it kind of just ends up going on the back burner.
Yeah.
But, I have a full-time job now, so that's a set schedule.
Yeah.
For me. When I don't have a set schedule,
Lost
everything's
cause.
gone out the window.
Yeah. Even though, like, you have more free time, you have no structure, so it's kind of like everything just kind of falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you should see if you can get on a schedule with even just, like, I find people who go right after work tend to be consistent with working out.
I want to go before work.
Interesting.
I want Good Life to open up 24 hours again. I want to go before work.
What time does work start?
9.
You could probably still go before work. Even at Reps, I think Reps opens up at 6 on weekdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's another thing, too. It's like I could go into work at 9:30 even and take half hour for lunch or leave half hour late.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Because I guess with work, you don't have, like, set things. It's just, like, you have a certain amount of work that has to be done throughout the day.
I would just like to go in, first of all, I assume the gym has a lot less people in it.
Yeah.
That early in the morning. And it's like, I'm not, afraid of working out in front of other people, but it's just like sort of your own space that...
100%. Yeah, I get that. The reason I don't like working out in the morning is because I find that I'm weaker in the morning. I have less meals. I need at least one good solid meal in me before I go work out.
Well, that's the thing. I'm talking big, but you know how I am for waking up.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
big
know.
talk. I feel like I would like to, but in practice, could be awful. Could absolutely be a train wreck.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is that, you work out, you go to work, you get off, you have the day.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. The world is your oyster when you get off. Then you don't have any.
You're off work, and it's like, oh, I've already like done an hour.
Yeah, and that's something
today.
You can feel good about too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's something I find. Something that I've been like in prep. Like whenever I'm in prep, and the reason that I love being in prep is because I have so much structure to my days. And I find I get a lot more done because one, I'm not eating as much, and when I'm like bulking, in like peak off season, I don't have energy to do things because I get tired after I eat, and I'm eating all the time. So it's just like one of those things where like I work out, get a meal, and like do kind of computer work in between those times. But now where I'm eating less, I find, at least before now, because at this point in prep, like things are starting to suck and like I'm like moody and I don't want to do stuff because I'm hungry. But before that, I was like, like I get up pretty much 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning and do my cardio outside and go for a walk. And since it's been nice, that's been sick because I get out and like getting fresh air in the morning is sick anyways. I'll take like my fat burner stimulants before I do that. Then I'll get back and I'll have some coffee, do some computer work, and try to push my first meal as much as I can. And then so I have that period of time in the morning where I can be just like super productive. And then obviously leading on with the rest of my day, I already have this much stuff done. So then I'm more motivated even going forward throughout the day because it's like, oh, I already did this much. I just need to stay focused for the rest of the day and make it a super productive day in general. So then I working out into that, obviously, and yeah.
Claire sent me a TikTok.
Yeah.
About something that I honestly don't even know if it's real, but super interesting because I think it's something that I definitely do that kind of, maybe a part of why I don't go to the gym as much or why I don't have as big of a motivation to go to the gym. I forget what it's called. Maybe you could Google it and find it.
Yeah.
But it's like called a revenge sleep schedule or something like that. So anyway, try that first one.
Procrastination.
So basically, while he's looking that up, I'll explain what it is. It kind of has to do with you don't get enough time in the day to do what you want. Even if, like, say you're at work and then you got to go to the gym and then, you're hanging out with somebody. Even if it's all stuff that you want to do, you still need some time on your own kind of thing. It's like you just value some alone time kind of thing. So it's like if you don't get that enough during the day,
100%,
you stay up until like 3, for example, just so you can have like 2 or 3 hours by yourself at the night to do whatever you want.
No, I agree with that 100%. And I think like I've been in this same position, and it's not happening right now because I have a pretty good sleep schedule where I'm going to bed, like aiming to be in bed for 11 o'clock, and I'm usually getting in bed like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So then I'm able to wake up earlier, I'm not as tired. But like, then I have that time in the morning where I have to myself, nobody else is up anywhere really, and I just kind of do my own thing in the morning, so I have that period of time rather than in the nighttime. So I think that's more beneficial, and I find I'm more productive in the morning because if I have alone time in the evening, I'm usually either like having a meal or like just watching like YouTube or Netflix or something pointless like that because I'm already tired.
Ryan Googled it, by the way. It's called revenge sleep procrastination or revenge bedtime procrastination.
Yeah, so it says bedtime procrastination or revenge bedtime procrastination is a psychological phenomenon where people stay up later than they desire in an attempt to have control over the night because they perceive themselves to lack influence over events during the day. So say you have like a really busy day, or you've had a day where you did nothing and you wasted your day, you're likely going to stay up later because you want to get something done that day, or you want to have time to yourself. You want to just have some sort of control over that day where you have like an allotment of time and you're like, I'm picking to do this for this amount of time.
And because it's it's a time of the day where no one can bother you, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I was super interested in that when I found out about it, because it's like I do that a lot, and I feel like that's something a lot of people do a lot. But
yeah,
I never knew there was a term for it.
No, that is super interesting. And one thing I find too is like when I'm on prep, because I always have something to do. There's always like cardio. I gotta prep meals, work out, all these sort of things, and I tend to be a lot more active on social media when I'm in prep. So like all of these things combined, they take up a lot of my day. So the normal time when I'd have like spare time or extra time and I'd hang out with friends, I don't want to do that because 1, I'm tired, and 2, I've been so busy throughout the day doing other things regarding prep that I want this time to have to myself. So that's another big thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about school? You're going into your 5th year now, right?
When would that start? That would start in September, right? The 5th year? A year starts in September?
I feel like you're technically in year 5 right now.
I have this semester,
yeah,
and I have 2 semesters after that.
So you graduate in the spring, right?
I think it's May 2022.
Yeah, so you have the fall and winter. Yeah, I think so. I think you're 5th year. You would be considered because there's nobody else ahead of you, right? Everyone else has graduated. Yes.
Jesus, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yeah, I guess that's true. So yeah, 2022 I graduate from BCom. And then I'm out in the world by myself. Except
what are your plans? What are your plans to do afterwards? Do you have any idea? Any kind of like?
We've talked about this, before, and I've talked about this with just like the guys a lot recently, actually.
Yeah.
Just how it's like, boom, that's it. You're.
Oh, it's crazy,
it's
man.
Time to decide. I've in BCom co-op, you get to do 3 work terms.
Yeah, so it was the same with kin.
So yeah, the same with kin. So basically, there's a lot more different. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like subset groups, like marketing.
Yeah, so like kin, I feel like you're mostly doing the same thing. You get the same experience. But for business, there's marketing, accounting, finance, like this, that, and the other kind of thing. So every work term is so much different kind of thing. So my first work term I did was an accounting work term. And the most valuable thing I learned on that work term is that I don't want to be an accountant. So, which is good because like a lot of people I know in kin who decided not to do the co-op route and didn't want to do work terms because they thought they'd be pointless, missed out on that. Even if the work term sucked and you were just in a physio clinic folding towels the entire time, you do get a sense of what physios kind of have to do, or I don't know whether it's a personal trainer, physio, or whatever you were doing. You get a sense of what working in that I guess areas like, and which is really good for deciding, because like on my first work term I had a pretty good experience, but I was doing a lot of like work around the clinic that I didn't want to be doing, but that was my job. But I did get a sense of physio is something that I'd like to do in the future. Also, I think the camera might die soon. Do we want to take a quick intermission, or is that gonna be the show?
No, we'll take an intermission.
All right.
We'll take an intermission.
I'll finish what I'm talking about, and then we'll
continue on after. All right, cut. So before this intermission, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, you're a bum, and that's the bottom line. Thanks. All right, we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back after that short intermission.
Very short.
Very short. Definitely wasn't like an hour.
We don't remember what we were talking about.
We do not. That is correct. So do you have any other questions? Any other burning questions you have to ask me?
Well, I'll tell you one of the notes I made. The joke I was going to tell you.
Yeah, okay. Was this the thing you wanted my reaction for?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha, okay. Shoot.
So, how there are people who, there's anti-vax people.
Yes.
And there's people that refuse to wear masks.
Right.
In businesses, kind of thing. So, those same people are now wearing masks because they're afraid they're going to catch the vaccine. What? I saw in a news story.
Really?
Yeah. They're wearing masks now because they're afraid they're going to catch the vaccine from vaccinated people. It's a complete...
Oh my god, dude. That's absurd.
It's just funny to think about that, like...
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just don't really listen to it, because I think there's going to come a point where you're going to need the vaccine to travel anywhere, so why not just get it now? And what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Well,
like, honestly.
Do you want me to tell you what that demographic thinks the worst thing's going to happen
I do, yes.
They're worried there are microchips in the vaccine which can track you.
Interesting. We all have our phones which can be tracked.
Boom.
So
took the words right out of my mouth.
It doesn't really make any sense to me, but anyways.
It'd be funny, just like, I like to think of it as like someone telling the story of COVID 100 years from now kind of thing. And it's like, well, there was, a vaccine came out and there was a group of people that didn't want to get the vaccine because they thought that there were microchips in it, it could be tracked, and that you could be tracked, and there was a group of people that didn't want to wear masks inside of buildings because it was an inconvenience to them or some other
They just wanted people just want to like flex their rights. They want to be like, it's my right to not wear a mask. Like, I don't know, it's also your right to, not hold the door for someone or slam the door in their face. Like, you can do that if you want. But, like, and there comes a point of like, you know, respecting other people, because obviously old people are worried about it being like affecting them and actually potentially causing serious harm and risk to their health. So out of respect for them is why I would wear a mask, not because I'm afraid of getting it myself, because if I feel like I'm getting it, this could be me thinking I'm invincible as well. I think if I got COVID, I think I would be fine. There could be, I don't know, harmful things that happen down the line to my lungs or whatever, you know, say whatever you want. But when I wear a mask, it's mostly just to protect others rather than myself. And I mean, I know a ton of people that don't want to get the vaccine or don't want to wear masks and stuff like that. And that's totally fine. Like, they can do whatever they want. But in my eyes, it's just like, there's people that are worried about the microchip thing, which is just like...
Well, I just think it's funny because it's like, I can see the argument of, I mean, there's so many other like implications to it, but I can see the argument of, it's like, okay, I don't know what's in this kind of. I don't know what it'll do to me in 40 years kind of thing.
100%.
I mean, there's a lot of other like food ingredients and stuff. It's the same thing. But so I can kind of see that argument. But the people wearing masks because they're afraid they're going to catch the vaccine is so funny to me.
Yeah, I know. And like...
It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Even people not knowing what they're putting into their bodies also doesn't make any sense to me, because, okay, one, people, the stuff, if you looked at someone's diet who says this, they're worried about what's in the vaccine, I would like love to see what their diet is throughout the week and see what fast food and processed food they're putting into their bodies, because I guarantee you that is way more harmful than any vaccine could be with whatever you're eating. You know what I mean? Like, and people also eat food, the amount of chemicals that are pumped into food and product. Yeah, like, it's just like, you also don't know what's in that, you know? And like, people that go out every weekend and drink and do drugs and stuff like that, like, that's also very harmful. It's just like, it's the norm, so people do it. It's like eating fast food and drinking every weekend.
Getting the vaccine would be the norm.
Yeah, you'd think, but
in this economy.
Yeah, now it's not. You know, people want to put up a fuss and, you know, cause drama whenever they can because they have nothing better to do.
I just find it so funny that it's like, what, like, you really think the you know, vaccine is this elaborate scheme to track you?
Yeah.
It's like, do you actually think that?
I mean, even if it is, they can track me if they want. They, like, you know, people get worried about, like, technology and stuff and people tracking, you know, their whereabouts and what they do online. It's just like, I don't even care. Like, track me if you want to. I don't do that much interesting stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
So
like,
for me.
Oh, man, it's just like, I know, it's just, I can't wrap my head around it, honestly. And that's also the same thing. I can't wrap my head around people who don't want to work out and want to eat healthy, you know what I mean? So that's just, you know, another thing that doesn't make sense. But anyways, that's that.
That's the world.
I guarantee you this podcast will be taken down because it infringes some sort of...
No. That's like, this is like a liberal view, I think, you know?
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's...
So it's in, we're safe? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Hopefully this will get me more subscribers. YouTube is going to push the engagement on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Get the vaccine.
Get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Did you get your first one? After,
yeah.
Right? We
2 weeks ago.
That. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And when, do you know what the date of your second one is?
September 12th.
I think mine's like maybe the 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so it would be exactly 4 months after your first dose.
Right. I don't remember what my first one was, but it was
I think,
around.
I think it was within the week after I got mine.
Did you feel any pain in your arm?
Yeah, my arm was dead for probably 2 or 3 days. But
really?
What I've heard,
I didn't have any.
Did you get the Pfizer one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
No, I got Sputnik. That Russian one, they ran out of Pfizer where I was.
They're like, actually, you're the only guy we have to give this to today, but you're getting it. Now I got the Moderna one, and I've heard from that you get and I had a red rash on my arm for a little bit, and it just felt like someone had punched me in the arm every hour for like 2 or 3 days because it was just like pretty much having a dead arm.
See, I was told to do helicopters.
Yeah, and
after I literally didn't feel it at all. Not exaggeration.
And after I trained chest, it was like a day or two later, I was fine. It was 2 days later I trained chest, and it was hurting up until that, but once I got some movement and I guess got everything kind of flowing around, it was fine. But I also did well with the needle because I hate needles, and I thought for sure, like, the nurse was like...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The nurse was like...
you got it in your bum, too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, right up there. The nurse was like, you ever have any, problems with needles? Like, do you pass out or whatever, get weak? And I was like, yep. She was like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, wiggle your toes. So I focused on wiggling my toes, and then I didn't feel it going in, didn't hurt. Took it like a champ, and...
Well, yeah, no, I had to ask if she did it. She was just, like, talking me up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
talking me up. Your delts are huge, bro.
That's what she said. And, then she just started doing, like, whatever you do after the needle. She, like, rubbed it or something. And I was like, wait, did you do it?
Oh, they only did the rubbing to you, dude.
Oh, yeah, I got special treatment.
Yeah, she just wanted to touch your delts.
Where'd you go to the Village Mall?
No, I went to Mundy Pond. By the Muse Center.
Interesting. It was funny, actually, after I got it, and I, like, waited the 15 minutes or whatever. It was mandatory, by the way, where I went. Mundy Pond, I've heard. They were just, like, go sit in your car
for,
that's
what it's like.
A minute if you want, and
leave.
I
did stay for, like... Yeah. They do have people in the parking lot kind of monitoring. Oh, really? But I feel like if I got in my car and left... Oh, no one's going to do anything. Yeah,
but no, they told you, like, 15 minutes. Like, you should stay for 15 minutes.
So you have to stay in the lobby or whatever?
No, they had, like, a seating area set up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But I was gonna say something for sure. I don't remember what it was though.
Nor do I.
I don't remember.
Cool.
Quick cut
there. Nah, this is just gonna be raw. Once I piece it together, this is gonna be not cutting anything out.
Besides the 2 times the camera died.
Besides the 2 times, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's all I really have to talk about, honestly.
This might be hard to set up since we did literally zero prep, but I wanted to do some sort of game. Do you think you could get like a gym quiz up or something, and I can quiz you or you can quiz me, kind of thing?
Okay, I'm going to Google gym quiz, and if nothing comes up, that will be the end of the podcast. Gym quiz. Test knowledge. Okay.
All right.
Profs trivia knowledge test on
10
gym.
questions.
Oh. Okay, I like this. Okay.
Like
well,
this?
obviously, like this.
So do you want to?
I'll do it for you because I'll know all of these.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Not saying that you're a moron or anything.
Of course not.
Of course not. Okay. What are the chest muscles called?
Pectorals.
Nice. What piece of equipment can be used to train the pectoral muscles? A. Treadmill. B. Bench press. C. Rowing machine. D. Kettlebell.
I'm going to go B. Bench press.
Ding, 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 ding.
That would be A. Treadmill?
That would be A. Treadmill. I'd love to see that. What's the most commonly used number of sets to train strength? 5, 2, 1, or 3?
Number of sets, not reps.
Number of sets.
Could you go over the answers again?
A is 5, B is 2, C is 1, D is 3.
For strength. So I'm going to say it's normally 1 rep to 2 reps. I'm going to go 5.
5? Okay, I don't think that's right.
It doesn't say the answers?
Doesn't say the answers here, but I would say it is either 2 to 3. I train with 2 working sets, so what I'll do is I'll work up to a weight that I can do normally for like 8 to 12 reps, and I'll do that for 2 sets, and then I'll normally do either a drop set on the last set or a back off set. So in total it's 5 sets, but it's really only 2 working sets. And when I first started training, I would do 3 to 4 working sets. So I would say the answer here is 3. When lifting heavy weights from the floor, what is the correct technique? A. Bent legs, bent back. B. Straight legs, bent back. C. Bent legs, straight back. D. Straight legs, straight back.
C.
Good. A rowing machine trains arms, legs, and abdominals.
Is that a statement?
That's a question. True or false?
Oh.
Sorry.
A rowing machine trains...
I'm assuming they mean like an ergometer. Like an erg, like a...
Oh, you mean like...
wind rowing machine? I'm assuming.
Oh, with the, like the one at A-Tray with the water.
Yes, exactly. I'm assuming that's what they mean by a rowing machine, because they didn't specify.
You definitely move your arms and your legs.
I would say yes.
And core and that.
Yeah, because you're using your core to stabilize yourself, pushing with legs and pulling with arms.
But that wouldn't do anything to your back, would it? No?
It might do something to your back, but they didn't list it, so right. I would say that's true.
All right.
Check the most commonly used muscles in a gym workout. We're going to skip that one.
Wait, all right. What is that? What is B? What does that say? Sternocleidomastoids. Where is that? Do you know?
I'm assuming it attaches to your sternum. I don't actually know.
Which is where?
Right here.
All right, I knew that.
Yeah.
I thought that was... I used to think, well, what is the solar plexus? Isn't that around the area?
Hold on, I'm going to search this up because I'm curious. Okay, yeah. Each pair of long muscles that connects to the sternum, clavicle, and mastoid processes of the temporal bone and serve to turn and nod the head. Interesting. Oh. I actually didn't know that.
Both learned something. Can you look up solar plexus?
Yep.
Is that what I think it is? Have you heard of that before?
Yeah. No, I think it's like the...
Like just like right under your...
Yeah, it's not actually like... It's like more so a body landmark rather than an anatomical term.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Complex system of radiating nerves and ganglia found in the pit of the stomach in front of the aorta.
Very good.
Yeah. All right. What's the largest muscle in the body?
I don't know this one. The options are pectorals, biceps, gluteus maximus, and abdominals. Now, are your abs one? They're not one muscle, are they? Or are they? No, it's a bunch.
So there's a rectus. So the rectus is like the ones that you see, and there's transverse that go out, and then you have also your obliques, which aren't really your abdominals. But
now I see Ryan is Googling largest muscle in the body, so I don't think he knows.
I think it's the gluteus maximus.
I was going to go with gluteus maximus as well.
Sure, now that you see it come up.
I was between that and abs, I think.
Nah.
Because that's a large area of your body.
But you got to think like density too.
Right. And that's why I
think
was leaning towards gluteus maximus.
Right. I guess it doesn't depend on the person because it probably goes by like surface area. I don't actually know how that's measured, but
I guess average too.
Yeah, true. So what's the average resting heart rate for the average 18 to 25-year-olds?
I'm going to go with...
What do you think yours is? Do you know yours?
No. God, no.
I think mine is like...
You don't have an Apple Watch?
I don't have an Apple Watch, no. Mine is like between like 60 and 70, I think. But I could get it down pretty low if I tried.
When you hibernate.
No, when I was working at the clinic, like the physio clinic, they used to have this monitor that you put on your finger and you test like blood oxygen levels and heart rate. And I would when I was bored, I'd sit in one of the rooms and see how low I could get my heart rate down, by breathing and stuff like that. And I got it down to 39.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how accurate
honestly,
that was.
I have no idea what mine is. I don't I'd say pretty average. I don't think I'm running hot or anything.
Yeah.
So is the answer?
I think it's 62 to
65.
65. Yeah, because 82 is way too high. 49 to 55 is way too low.
All right.
Here we go. What nutrients should be consumed after a workout to help the body recover faster? Carbohydrates, proteins, or fats? We talked about
this earlier too. So it's not fats.
Right. You should avoid fats after a workout because it slows down the absorption of glycogen. So
I'm going to go with protein.
Good. Yeah, well, it says to recover faster.
Well, I also don't see you taking protein shakes before workouts.
There you go. Boxercise is a type of exercise class. I'm assuming that's a boxing class. So I'm assuming yes.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Oh, you could have started it actually. There's a button here.
Oh, should we run through it and see what score we got? No.
I feel like it's gonna take too long. Yeah, it'll take too long.
And then it'll probably make you put your email address and your social security number in at the end.
Yeah. Ask for your credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was good.
Good stuff.
Boys learned something.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Call it there?
Sure.
All right. So that was actually. I'm gonna pull up my my Buzzsprout and see. So this will be episode 11. So if you guys made it all the way through, I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but if you made it all the way through, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you guys have potential guests or potential topics to talk about on the podcast, comment them down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on iTunes or Spotify, or listening on iTunes or Spotify, you can just DM me on Instagram at Ryan Shea Fitness. And if you want to get on the podcast, shoot me a message as well, and we can see if we can work something out. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your time, Harrison. I'm sure we'll do something like this again. And
I will be back for another podcast if this video gets 1 like. Maybe.
Nobody liked this video. Dislikes. All dislikes on the video. But yeah, no, we'll definitely have you on again, and hopefully you'll be...
Sweet. We'll prep more for the next
Yeah, hopefully you'll actually come prepared.
All right.